Hi guys, so in today's video I thought I would film an update and let you guys know what's happened with these two girls. So if you guys cannot tell, they've had a surgery. So basically Nora and Pandora and one of my other girls, Peggy, if you guys had watched my last vlog, you would have known that 5 of my girls had ovarian cysts, but 3 of them were worse than the other 2, hence why we got them spayed first. So basically Pandora was showing the weight loss. So with ovarian cysts, there are different symptoms. So some females become really hormonal with it, some lose hair, some lose weight. It just varies pig to pig, but it is about 70% of female pigs get it over the age of 18 months old. So we do see it a fair bit in work. So far before the 5 girls, I'd only had 2 of the females have it, and both had surgeries and both were fine. So we booked in Pandora, Nora and Peggy for their spays because it was one of those where they needed it the most. The other girls are going to be getting done next month, but it was one of those where their cysts were the largest and those were the most affecting them. So with Pandora, her symptoms were hair loss and the other pigs were kind of picking on her. And then with Nora and Peggy, Nora is just this girl here, there was quite a bit of hair loss actually around her flanks. So the 3 girls went in for their face surgeries. It will be 2 weeks ago this Friday actually coming up, and Peggy went in first. She was about 5.5, 6, and her initial spay, so when we had the ultrasounds done to see how big the cysts were, because there's 2 ways of spaying, there is abdominal and then there is flank, and there's a flank spay. So these girls have had a flank spay, which you guys can see from the wounds from the stitch on her flank on her side. And then there's an abdominal spay, which abdominal's a little bit larger, it takes a little bit longer, and yeah, it just takes a bit longer. So we then decided to go do flank with Nora and Pandora because their cysts were quite small, but Peggy had to have abdominal because hers were quite large. So we decided to go do that with her, and then Peggy sadly passed away. So when they opened her up, her cysts were that large that they were pushing against her internal organs. So they managed to sort that out, but they found a deceased baby in there. So I've had Peggy for about 9 months, but she did come from a situation with these 2 girls. Pandora's actually her daughter, I believe. Pandora's her daughter, where basically she was being bred quite a lot, and they found out she had quite a few infections going on, and they cleaned her up. She came through the anaesthetic fine, but she then was around for about 30 minutes, but she couldn't pull herself out of it fully from the anaesthetic and from everything. And then she did sadly pass away 30 minutes later. Now, they did call me up because she was the first one, because obviously she was abdominal, so it does take a little bit longer. They called me and they asked, do I still want to spay Nora and Pandora? And I was like, yeah, because there is 3 options when it comes to treatment of ovarian cysts. There is a chemical a injection, which only shrinks it, but there's about an 80 to 90% we see of it coming back. There's drainage, which there's 100% of it coming back. And then you then have a spay, which is 100%, it's never going to come back. So I personally always believe in doing spays, and it just eliminates a lot of different issues for them. And as long as you have a good vet and there's nothing else going on, you should be fine. Like Nora here is 4. She, as you guys can go see, is absolutely fine. Pandora here has a head tilt, so we originally thought she might have a few issues, but she was absolutely fine. So we do just generally think Peggy's body just could not take the surgery. So our plan is all of my other girls, so bar Tozy and Pippin, all the other girls are under 5. So the plan is we're actually going to be having everybody preventatively spayed. Now, that is not something I thought I would do, but from the amount of guinea pigs I see spayed and the amount of ovarian cysts that are weirdly starting to pop up lately, and with the amount of females I have, to me it just makes the most amount of sense to have everybody preventatively spayed. So these two girls are actually going with my foster boy, potentially temporary, potentially permanently. We're not sure whether we're fully keeping him or not. And so he is not getting castrated yet, but because they're spayed, they can live with him. So we're actually going to be doing the bond this week because they are fully healed. Like, that is just, that's healed. Do you know what I mean? There's no chance of that ripping open now, and I don't think, to be honest, he will open it. And they're off their pain meds, everything's fine. So yeah, so they're going to become a little trio with him because Pandora does actually get picked on by the herd. So to me, it just didn't make sense to bond them back in with the herd. But yeah, so that is just the update. So we will be basically spaying all 20 other females, which is going to cost a shit ton. Like, these girls were £130 for theirs. And then because of everything else that happened with Nora, Peggy, sorry, that was £400, which was a bit crazy. But I think for me, it's one of those things where I'd rather get rid of it now whilst my girls are young, and then obviously it's easier to come through surgery when you have nothing wrong with you than obviously when you have something. But yeah, I also would definitely recommend, if you're going to do a spay, go to an exotic vet who does it. So the two vets I use for surgeries, I've locumed at both. I know they do them extremely regularly, and I know if they haven't got a vet and who does it, that they will know someone who does, and they won't just do it for the sake of doing it. Whereas a lot of vets I find with exotics will treat them and kind of guess it. But yeah, so these girls are all good. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.